Any views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on the Rejuvenating Health podcast are solely those of the speakers and are intended as such. Please consult your trusted healthcare practitioner for medical advice. Let's go, girls.
Welcome back to the Rejuvenating Health podcast. Today's episode is one of my favorites because we are answering your real life questions, ladies. So this is our Ask Us Anything episode, and the questions that come up in coaching calls, DMs, our Facebook groups, conversations that women are having with their coaches. This is where we're answering them today. So if you submitted a question, you should hear it.
Hopefully, if we get to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
If we get to all of them.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah. And honestly, like, these are the best episodes because they're really practical. So we're talking about the stuff that women are really struggling with: bloating, body composition, collagen, magnesium, what supplements should I take, brain fog, skin health, hormones, exercise, muscle building. Like, basically just going to do a masterclass here in women's metabolism, recovery, aging, and nervous system health.
Yeah, and we're going to give both the science and the coaching side because we want to look at it from a place of, like medical, but also change behavior scenario. And that way you can kind of get both.
Yeah, exactly. So you can know what to do and still not implement it if it doesn't really kind of fit into your real life. So
yeah. All right. So let's get rolling right into it to make sure we can get through as many of these as possible. So the first one was around magnesium timing, and many clients forget to take magnesium 30 to 60 minutes before bed or don't want to wake up to pee. How important is the timing of when they take the magnesium?
Yeah, so I love this question because it highlights one of the biggest mistakes in health coaching and regarding around supplements. Like, people obsess over optimization before they establish consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And we're obsessing over being perfect before we're doing the thing consistently. So magnesium is one of the most important minerals in your body. It has over 300 enzymatic reactions. It helps with nervous system regulation, blood sugar balance, muscle recovery. It helps your bowel moves. It helps your cortisol. But here's the truth. The best time to take it is when you can actually remember to take it consistently, every night, consistently.
Yeah. And that's going to be, that's something that could be applied across the board to probably a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. But yeah, it's like the whole idea of done is better than perfect. And yes, we want to take it around bedtime because it's suiting that purpose. But if that's not conducive to you actually taking it every single day, then move it to a different time. Take it right after dinner or put it somewhere where you're going to see it.
Yeah. I mean, there are some supplements that have to be taken at a certain time and at a perfect time, but we have to stop acting like supplements are magical if they're only taken at a perfect time. Like, yes, magnesium glycinate, I want you to take it before bed because it can help with parasympathetic nervous system activation, muscle relaxation, melatonin production, sleep quality. But if you're forgetting it nightly and getting stressed out about the timing of it and skipping it consistently, then none of the benefits happen. Like, just take it when you can remember to take it before bed.
Yeah, it's like it's counteractive or counterproductive if we're stressing out about doing it just the right way or telling ourselves that goes back to that all or nothing, right? Like, if I don't do it this way, then it's not going to work. So it's not going to work if you don't just get consistent with it.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure that waking up to pee is the magnesium.
No, I think it's like drinking water to take the pills before bed.
So yeah, if you're drinking it with a huge glass of water, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're waking up like to pee, that's probably more of a blood sugar dysregulation or cortisol or sleep apnea or estrogen decline, essentially.
Yeah. So then if that is something that you're struggling with, what would be the best thing to do in that case?
Yeah. So habit stack it. Like, put it near your toothbrush. I guarantee you're brushing your teeth every night. Pair it with another bedtime routine you have. Put it in a pill organizer. Take it at dinner if bedtime doesn't work. I know all y'all are eating dinner at 8 p.m. and not right before bed. You're not eating 3 hours before bed like you should be. Just be consistent and remember, like, it is an important thing to take consistently because magnesium deficiency can cause anxiety and headaches and constipation and insomnia and palpitations and, chocolate cravings. And so it's more just like remembering to take it daily than it is about perfect timing of it.
Yeah. So long story short, ideal window would be up somewhere like 2 hours up to bedtime, and just consistently daily is the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere in there.
Exactly.
All right. Next question. getting bloating from quote unquote healthy foods. So the question was, why do healthy foods and I know this is this is going to get dragged a little bit, but
this is gonna
like
open up
the
a can of worms.
OWYN protein shake or the Primal Kitchen dressings make me bloated. But the first thing is like we're comparing, when we say healthy in quotes, it's like greenwashed things. Like these are still processed foods and there could be something in it that's having a reaction.
I don't know that I would say these are like healthy. Are they better alternatives?
Comparatively,
yes. And this can be a super common issue because one of the biggest signs that healthy doesn't mean your body automatically tolerates it. Like it's still processed. Like bloating is not random. It's usually some kind of impaired digestion, dysbiosis, food sensitivities, poor enzyme production, gut inflammation. In these two specific, it's probably more of some type of gum or additive or artificial sweetener and emulsifier that's causing the bloating.
Yeah.
If you're getting
bloating, and sometimes it's the pea protein itself. Like I don't tolerate pea protein very well.
Yeah. And if you're getting bloating from healthy foods like fruit and vegetables, well, that's just probably because you increased your fiber too dramatically and your body just has to adjust to that fiber intake. But like the OWYN shakes they have pea protein in them, which your body might not handle. They have gums, they have stabilizers, they have natural flavors. And with the dressings, like even the clean dressings, they're going to have gums and vinegarals and seed oils and preservatives. Like they still don't expire. Like if something doesn't have an expiration date in a week or two, it has some type of preservative in it. And some people just don't tolerate those well.
Yeah. And I would say like, yes, the shake in of itself is going to be more the ingredients. I know like I use Primal Kitchen dressings. They are pretty clean. They don't have seed oils in them, but it may not be the dressing itself. It may just be the thing that you're putting it on. So it's like, for example, and this may be a little trial and error. I love salads, but I can't get salads with shaved Brussels sprouts in them because if I eat shaved Brussels sprouts, my gut does not react very well to that. And I didn't realize that for quite a while. And I was like, why every time when I eat this certain salad, I feel awful. But then I realized, oh, the common denominator is when I eat Brussels sprouts, I have to eat them like really, really cooked. I can't do the raw version in those bag salads. So you might want to look at what you're putting that dressing on as well.
Yeah. And I mean, just, it doesn't mean that your body's broken because you're getting bloating from it. Like that's where you kind of start thinking of what's in it. But then also, is your estrogen low? So you're lacking digestion enzymes. Do you have some bacterial overgrowth, sluggish bile, histamine issues? Like that's kind of where we can use gut health testing to help with that.
Yeah. That's why testing is really important. If it's something that you're having chronically as well, it's worth getting tested.
Yeah, I would say pretty much everyone in our program is getting gut health testing these days, and they all have a whacked out gut. Like if everyone has a messed up gut. Like and those are so important because they can reveal bacterial overgrowth, inflammatory markers, digestion insufficiencies, short chain fatty acid production, yeast overgrowth, pathogenic bacteria, and if you don't know what you're treating, then you're just going to keep guessing.
Yeah, because not all of those things are going to be treated the same. And so if you're trying out, this probiotic that you saw and it's not necessarily treating the issue that you have because you don't know what it is, that's where testing can be really, really useful and it's really beneficial. What are some like immediate things that someone could try?
Well, for one, slow down while you're eating. Mm-hmm. If you're stressed, rushed, multitasking, your digestion kind of shuts down and that vagus nerve controls digestion. So if you're in fight or flight, you have less stomach acid, weaker motility, you're going to have issues. Simplify your ingredients. So instead of highly processed healthy foods, do whole food protein, right? Homemade dressings, fewer additives, add in digestion enzymes, bitters, magnesium, things that can improve your bowel movements, like make sure you're drinking enough water, you're chewing thoroughly, like those can dramatically help. And then look at your total stress load, right? Like your nervous system affects your gut so much.
Yeah. So basically slow down, monitor your stress, don't eat at the counter standing up while you're trying to do 10 other things.
Yeah, exactly.
And then be mindful of what the products are and what the products are going on, because sometimes it's not the culprit that you think it is.
Exactly.
All right, next question. Skin health during weight loss. So this is interesting because disclaimer, we are not dermatologists, so just saying that. But the question was, what is the best thing for skin while losing weight so it stays youthful and healthy? And I'm assuming that this is around like not wanting skin to lose its elasticity as you're dropping weight.
Yeah, and then it's like a valid concern. Like if you've ever
Mm-hmm.
seen someone that's lost a dramatic amount of weight, they have that loose, sagging skin, and that dramatic weight loss can absolutely affect collagen integrity, elasticity, hydration, skin thickness, and women often think skincare products are the answer, but like healthy skin really starts internally.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is it that actually matters the most as far as internal medicine, which is what we're going to look at as far as versus topicals?
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at protein. Like women dramatically underestimate how much skin depends on amino acids, collagen.
Hair too, ladies. We've talked about that before, but like making sure that your protein intake is high enough for healthy hair and preventing hair loss.
Yeah. I mean, collagen production requires glycine and proline and lysine and vitamin C and copper and zinc. And if someone's deficient in these things, which most women are, and you're under eating protein, crash dieting, losing weight rapidly, chronically inflamed, like your body doesn't really care about your skin quality. And like, I will, like, the amount of people that blame their skin on their hormones and it's their gut that causes their skin to be crazy is mind blowing. That's a side tangent, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why muscle preservation during weight loss is really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, things like adequate protein and resistant training and collagen peptides and omega and hydration and sleep and blood sugar regulation, like all that's going to matter. But also, estrogen matters a lot. Like when your estrogen starts declining, you're going to lose that skin thickness and collagen and elasticity and hydration. And which is why so many women notice those like huge dramatic skin aging occurrences during menopause.
Yeah, like that crepiness or like it, like drier skin or more fragile, it feels like almost. And cortisol accelerates this too.
Yeah, because cortisol steals. It doesn't just steal your hormones, but it also steals your collagen.
Mhm.
So if you're not sleeping, if you're overtraining, if you're under eating, if you have chronic stress, like that's going to age your skin faster as well.
Yeah. So being mindful of your protein intake, obviously hydrating, making sure that you're drinking enough water, focusing on what you're putting into your body and sleep. Like I would say those are going to be the biggest contributors to healthy skin throughout weight loss as opposed to something topical. Now, if we're looking at topical things, again, not a dermatologist, but you're going to want to prioritize skincare that is taking care of the skin barrier itself. Like a lot of these really trendy products are really fancy and they smell nice and they claim all these things, but it's like getting down to the nitty gritty, like what is increasing the integrity of your skin barrier health, that is going to help and go a long way as far as like skin elasticity.
Yep. Yep.
All right, next question. There's like a crazy echo.
It's because my stinking headphones keep disconnecting. Drive me crazy.
What
Better?
about now? Yeah,
But
the
now
echo's
I
gone.
can't
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay.
Now there's an
Try it
echo
again.
again. No, now we're good.
Shit. Okay.
You good? Okay.
Stupid. Yeah, I'm good. Stupid headphones.
All right, next question. Best foods for brain health. So the question was, what foods keep the brain healthy and alert? I love this question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good question because your brain is massively energy dependent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
your brain loves energy. It loves stable blood sugar. It loves omega-3 fats. It loves antioxidants and micronutrients and oxygen delivery. So, literally, the worst thing that you can do for brain function is to have like blood sugar chaos and underfueling.
Yeah, and this is really important to clarify because a lot of people associate brain fog with just being tired. Right? They think, oh, I can't think clearly because I'm not tired, I'm not getting enough sleep. Now, sleep is super important to brain health, but when it comes to how we're feeding our brain, that's a different thing entirely. And that can also contribute to brain fog in a serious way.
Yeah, I mean, brain fog can come from insulin resistance, inflammation, poor sleep, anemia. Low ferritin is one of the number one things I see people having brain fog from. Gut dysfunction, low estrogen, your thyroid not working. Like foods that are really going to help support that are things that are rich in iron, things that are rich in omega. So your salmons, sardines, your eggs, yes, eat the yolks. That has choline in it, which helps with the brain. Blueberries and all the berries because they're rich in antioxidants. Olive oil and avocado for those healthy fats. Leafy greens, walnuts, green tea, and like honestly, muscle matters a lot because that's what's going to keep you insulin sensitive and metabolically flexible. So you're not having those crazy blood sugars that are going to affect brain health and brain fog.
Yeah. And those foods are across the board that would fit into any food sensitivity situation or like food aversion situation. There's lots across the board to choose from. So making sure that you're incorporating at least one or two or three of those regularly is going to be highly beneficial. And taking, we've talked about this before, like it is difficult to get your amount of omega-3. So supplementing a fish oil, we recommend everybody supplement a fish oil. That's going to be really beneficial too for the brain.
It's so good for your cholesterol and your heart and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. All right, next question. Does collagen count as protein?
No.
And this is like everybody likes to do the collagen powder in the coffee. And we've talked about this before. We've definitely done a previous episode around like, what counts as real protein and what doesn't. And this is important because I think a lot of women get caught up in the craze of, oh, I have this, this collagen creamer, I have this, all these fancy things I just add to my coffee, and then I'm having this protein coffee, and that is easy to take care of my grams of protein for the morning. Unfortunately, ladies, that is not the case.
Yeah. It's great for your hair, skin, and nails, like we talked about, but it lacks leucine. It's not a complete protein, so it does not count towards your protein intake.
Yeah. And again, it's not that keep the collagen in your coffee. It's not that it's not beneficial towards other goals, but it's not necessarily going to contribute to a muscle building goal. And so we don't count it towards that 30 grams per meal that we're seeking.
Exactly. And so it should not replace your complete protein. If you want to take it for your skin and joints and connective tissue and gut lining, awesome. We're not taking it for muscle building. We're not like that. We need eggs and meat and fish and Greek yogurt and whey isolate and something that's full of those amino acid profiles.
Yeah. So long story short, collagen adds to intake as far as some of the things that it benefits for the whole system of the body, but it shouldn't be counted equally as a protein gram for gram because it's not giving you the same benefits as far as muscle building that we're looking for.
Exactly.
All right. Next question. Cut versus build phases when we're talking about body composition. And this one is a really good one. And I know that a lot of ladies have this question in the back of their minds, or not in the back, at the front. But how do you know when to cut, build, or maintain when we're talking about body composition?
Well, I'm going to say 99% of the population shouldn't be doing cut, building, or any of the thing because they're not doing consistently healthy habits.
Right.
Consistently. But if you are in the bodybuilding world, so if you have a body fat percentage over 30%, you should not be bulking. Like, you should be cutting for your health.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where women get really trapped in that chronic dieting where they've stayed in a deficit for years, and eventually your body kind of adapts and you get that lower thyroid conversion, increased cortisol, lower NEAT, metabolic adaptation, muscle loss.
Yeah, and then they wonder why they can't lose fat, like why their fat loss stalls.
So this is where you need to go back and listen to that reverse dieting episode that we did. So if you want body recomposition, you do have to periodize stuff. If you want like body composition changes, you have to go through periods of fat loss, maintenance, muscle building. You can't, unless you're a beginner, you're not going to gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. If you're just beginning with exercise, yes, you can get a little bit of that adaptation. But if you've been someone that's exercising for a while, you are either going to have to increase your calories to put on muscle, or you're not going to have the body composition changes. And that's really important because that muscle is metabolically healthy. So if you're a woman, we have a lot of women that are skinny fat. Like, you know what I mean? But you might have to put on a little bit of weight to build some muscle that is metabolically active.
Yeah.
And then
let's rebrand that. I don't like skinny fat. Let's call it muscularly challenged.
Okay, that's better. Like, you might have to gain a little bit of weight.
Yeah. And I think this is really difficult because, obviously women have a common association that they're always trying to make themselves smaller. But what would be some good indicators that would tell me, okay, it's time to hop off the chronic dieting wheel? Like, I don't need to continue to focus my main priority on shedding weight right now.
It's time to stop dieting and time to eat more if you're chronically fatigued. If your recovery is poor, like if you wear any type of tracker and your HRV and resting heart rate, like if your HRV is in the toilet and your resting heart rate is elevated and you are like dragging yourself out of bed the next day to work out, like stop. If you're having a ton of sleep disruption, if you're irritable, if you're like losing your hair, if you have no libido, if your weight loss is stalled, if you're constantly thinking about food, if you're like going to do your workouts and you're like, oh my gosh, I can barely like push through at all.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of people. And I think a big thing that we need to reframe for ourselves is that maintaining is not failure. Like there's nothing wrong with getting to a place of consistency so that our body can feel safe and actually be available for a body recomp.
I mean, yeah, I would say the majority of your year should be in maintenance.
Right.
And maybe you go through one or two bulk and cut cycles. Maintenance is where healing happens. You need to hear, like, you do not build a strong metabolism by constantly starving it.
Right. And you have to heal the body before you can ask it to perform. And muscle building, also on the other end of this, like you said, often requires more food, not less. And even though women think that they want to be smaller, the toned bodies that they are looking at and aspiring towards are muscular bodies.
Yeah.
Like
And we've talked about
toning
this before.
requires muscle in order for you to
Yeah.
be able to see it.
We've talked about this before. Like, people would die if they saw how much food that you and I eat. I know that I'm like super lean, but the amount of food that I consume is ridiculous. Like, Matt and I were talking about it this weekend when we were gone. He's like, how do you eat that? Like, it's weird. Anyways, but you also have to eat carbs. You especially have to eat carbs if you're lifting heavy, if you're trying to build some glutes and muscle and improve your hormones and lower cortisol. Like, eating ultra low carb and chronically dieting can often sabotage your process. I'm not saying like you eat gummy bears while you're working out, like, no,
No.
but eat some like good complex carbohydrates.
Yeah, like especially surrounding your workouts. Like you need to be
Yeah.
able to support that movement. So it's like maybe oats or sweet potatoes or, fruit, like something
Yes.
around your training. So long story short, the goal for most people would be to maintain and get to a place of homeostasis where you're not having big fluctuations and your body starts to respond well and you feel really good, you're not having any of these symptoms that are coming up, and then you can look to identify a cut. And this is also where coaching comes in, which is really beneficial to be able to work with somebody to identify when those time seasons are applicable to you and what's also going on in your life at the time. Because even though you may be in a phase where you want to cut, it may not be a good time with other stressors that you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Optimal estrogen post menopause. So, what level of estrogen is optimal post menopause?
It's nuanced. Because symptoms matter more than a
Mm-hmm.
lab number. But for protection, being osteoporosis protection, cardiovascular protection, stuff like that, we kind of want at 70 to 100 for protection. After that, it's how are your symptoms? How is your sleep? How is your vaginal health? How is your libido? How is your cognition? How are your hot flashes? How is your bone health, your body composition? I have some women whose estrogen's 50 and they're like, I feel fine. I'm like, okay, well, I still need to up it a little bit just to get you protection. I have some women whose estrogen's 150 and they're like still having all these symptoms. Some of that depends on your symptoms, but there is a sweet spot where we need it to be above 70. That way we can make sure that you're not having bone loss, cardiovascular resistance, or cardiovascular risk, insulin resistance, skin aging, cognitive decline, all those type of things.
Yeah. And we have to get away from what we've been told as far as, well, low estrogen is just something that's normal during this phase of life. And it's just something that happens and you have to deal with it. That's not the case.
No, not at all. Yeah, normal doesn't always mean optimal.
Most of the time, it does not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So again, that goes back to testing, understanding where your levels are and what optimal looks like as far as levels for you, and going that route based on not only what the level is, but the symptoms that your body is displaying.
Yep.
Just like you
Yep.
said before a million times, like HRT is an art. And so each
Yeah.
thing, each way that it's applied has to be in line with how that subject is responding to it. It's not like okay,
Yeah.
well, you're at this age, we're going to insert this amount. That does not how it works.
Yep, exactly.
All right, next question. High versus low intensity exercise. How do you know if higher or lower intensity workouts are better for you? This one's a good one.
Your nervous system a lot of times will tell you. um, High intensity is not always better. If you are someone that has adrenal fatigue or adrenal dysregulation, you're not recovering well, sleep issues, elevated cortisol, hormone imbalance, Hashimoto's, sometimes that too much HIIT can backfire.
Yeah, especially in perimenopause ladies when they're at season where cortisol is really, really important to be monitoring.
Me and these headphones are going to have a fit. Yeah. I mean, zone 2 is incredibly underrated. It improves mitochondrial function, fat oxidation, metabolic flexibility, recovery capacity. It can also preserve your muscle tone and bone. You should do some high intensity exercise if your body can handle it. And this is like where we had a really good GLP-1 discussion with our coaches the other day. And if you're on a GLP-1 and you're not losing weight, like you have to get some cardio. But the best type of cardio depends, and it's something that you can recover from, that you can do consistently, that supports your hormones, and that improves your energy instead of depleting it.
Yeah. And I think it's not as black and white as saying like what's better for me, higher or lower intensity workouts, because high intensity doesn't always mean high intensity cardiovascular workouts, right? Or
Yeah, it's
what we would
everyone.
Right. What we would consider cardio. Like high intensity may be the way that you are lifting weights or the load that you're using and the amount of breaks that you're using in between your sets. Like again, it's getting more in tune with the body and understanding how your body tolerates it and how it responds to it. And that may take a little bit of trial and error of testing it out, but really both are essential. And can we make sure that we're including a little bit of high intensity to push our threshold on our heart rate? And we're including that when what Lindsay was referring to, that zone 2 cardio is like that steady state cardio where you're still able to maintain a conversation. That type of cardio needs to be included as well. So it's both and based on what your body tolerates.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can do a 20 rep back smack squat that takes me, 2.5 minutes? And I'm going to be way more taxed from doing that than I am running 2 miles.
Yeah, and we're the opposite in that. Like if I run over 400 meters, I'm gassed, but I can lift for an hour and it doesn't even register on my Oura ring.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody's different and it's like how your body responds.
Yeah.
All right, next one, how to increase HRV. So how do you improve your HRV?
This is such a hard question.
I know, it's really complicated.
But the issue too is like, you have to compare your HRV to your HRV. Like I can't compare my HRV to your HRV. And what is HRV? HRV is heart rate variability.
And you have to track it over, like you have to look at trends. Like you can't like just start tracking it and be like, oh, well, this looks high. No. You have to have like, I would say like 90 days of data before you understand like what your average HRV is and what that feels like for you.
Yeah. And if you don't know what it is, it's heart rate variability. So it essentially reflects your nervous system resilience. So generally, higher HRV means better recovery, parasympathetic balance, adaptability, where lower HRV can reflect stress, overtraining, alcohol, sickness, inflammation, poor sleep, under recovery. I mean, if you're looking for the best ways to improve your HRV, like not compared to other people's, get sleep. I don't know how many times we have to tell you this. Do some breath work. Go on a walk. Magnesium, blood sugar stability, nervous system regulations. For goodness sakes, take a rest day and eat adequate food.
Yeah, when I was more into tracking that metric, the number one thing that moves the dial, and this wasn't just me, it was across the board with anybody that I was talking to that was also tracking, is sleep. That is going to be your biggest bang for your buck in being able to improve your HRV, is improving your sleep hygiene.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's training. Like if I have a really hard training day, and I don't recover well, my HRV is in the tank. If I'm sick, my HRV is. If my circadian rhythm, like consistent sleep and wake times, like if I'm traveling, my HRV is messed up. And none of these.
Yeah, and all of that's tied to recovery. None of it is like push harder.
Yeah, exactly.
So how well are you recovering? That will tell you what direction your HRV is going.
Yep.
All right. Next one, we're talking about VO2 max. So is VO2 max important? What is VO2 max?
I mean, yes, but I wouldn't know what my VO2 max is.
Right. Like who's tracking this? How are you tracking?
Like, I mean, it's one of the strongest predictors of longevity, and it definitely reflects how efficiently your body uses oxygen. And yeah, if you have like a Garmin or something, I think there's some kind of thing on there that you
can. But I don't believe that's actually accurate. No, it's like you can only get your true VO2 max by going and doing the test where you have the breathing mask on a treadmill and you're running for certain intervals and they're tracking how your breath is methylating.
Yeah, so like 99% of you, 99.9% of you are never going to know what your actual VO2 max is. But yes, higher VO2 max is correlated with lower mortality and better cardiovascular fitness and healthier mitochondria and better metabolic health. But most of you are never going to know what that is.
But again, this is like if you wanted to improve it, if you did know what it was, you would be doing, like we've already talked about the other things, that zone 2 cardio, doing some interval training, having resistance training in the mix, and consistency.
And just move your freaking body. Like walking matters more than people realize. You cannot exercise for 30 minutes to an hour and then sit your tushy in a chair for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so that non-exercise activity is super important, ladies.
Yeah.
Like we have to get some daily intentional movement in. It could be a walk, it could be a bike ride, it could be some stretches, like, but you have to move your body.
Yep. Yep.
All right, we did make it through all of the
I
questions.
know. Good. Yay for us.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. I love these episodes, like I said, because they remind us how nuanced health is. And like, while a lot of people probably have these same questions, again, a lot of these answers are very specific to you and how you're responding to these different inputs and what your environment looks like as well.
Yeah. And healing isn't about perfection. And I don't know how many times we can say that to you guys, but it's about consistency, nervous system safety, nourishment, muscle preservation, recovery. It's something that's sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah. So if this episode was helpful to you, if you found these answers were something that you were looking for, please share it with somebody that you think would also find it helpful. Please leave us a review. We love it. We read them all. It's free for you to do. It costs you only 30 seconds of your time, and we appreciate it so much. And it helps us grow. Oh, and keep sending us the questions, because these are really, really helpful. So if you do have questions that you want in a future Ask Us Anything episode, please make sure that you send them in.
Yes. Yes.
See you next time.